The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 22, Familiars. All right, is everyone ready then? Cyrilda asks while standing up. Ready for what? Sarah asks. To go back. Today is Sunday and you have classes tomorrow. I know you'll have tests, so you need to study. Cyrilda replies, causing Sarah to groan. If we could have returned this morning, why'd you wait until now? We could have had spices. Sarah says, causing Rowan to laugh. Cyrilda snaps her fingers and the five of them teleport. They appear on the path of illusion trees leading to the castle. Cyrilda hands them their rings back. As soon as she does, her communications bracelet vibrates. She checks them as Lorik stores the meat in one of his rings. Come with me, Cyrilda says before leading the way back to the castle. I thought we needed to go study? Rowan asks. You do, but we need to go over your lesson first. She replies. They walk into the castle and back to their regular room. On the table they sit at is a letter. Cyrilda hands the letter to Vera without looking at it. Your father sent this to you while we were out, she says before Vera opens it. She smiles while reading it before sighing. Is anything wrong? Sarah asks. No, it's just my father, being himself, Vera replies before setting the letter down. He said he's found a familiar for me, but he refused to tell me what it was. He sent it here with an escort, but it won't get here for another few weeks. She says, causing Cyrilda to sigh softly. I should have asked this sooner, but do you have a familiar, Lorik? I'm also assuming you don't yet, Vera. Cyrilda asks, causing Vera to nod. No, also, what exactly is a familiar? I know it's some kind of soul pet, I think. Lorik asks back. That's one way to put it, but it's more complex than that. A familiar is a creature you soul bond with. You share your soul power with them to create a connection with them. It lets you communicate with them in ways previously impossible. Cyrilda replies, You're also connected with them, so they can enter your soul to rest or wait. Sarah adds, But you can only soul bond with baby monsters. Otherwise, they'll resist it, and it'll be impossible. But monster eggs will work as well. Cyrilda says, Wouldn't baby monsters take too long to grow up? Lorik asks. No, since they're soul bound to you, the monster will quickly grow. They'll grow to match your age, but it'll take time. The time depends on the monster, but averages out at a few months. But sometimes it's faster depending on the monster in question. Cyrilda explains before reaching her hand out. A black mist pours out of her palm. It expands and grows a few feet away. The mist fades, leaving behind a large horse. Its fur is black, and it has 2 black feathered wings at its sides. There are 2 horns growing out of its head. The tallest horn is placed in the center of the horse's forehead. There's a smaller horn in front of the first. The horns are smooth and gray, ending in a sharp tip. The horse's eyes are bright red with black pupils. This is my familiar, a nightmare Pegasus, Cyrilda says while the horse steps closer to her. It nuzzles against her palm before she starts petting it. Aren't Pegasus supposed to be white? Vera asks. And rare for that matter, Lorik adds. They are, but mine is a nightmare Pegasus, not your run-of-the-mill one. Regular Pegasus are born with the law of white skies, but mine is what's called a variant. Variants are monsters who obtain laws that aren't common for their species. My Pegasus obtained the law of dark skies. It's similar to the white sky law regular Pegasus get, but it's more offense-orientated, making it stronger in combat. Cyrilda explains. For the record, we also have familiars, but they're still growing. During the time they grow, our familiars rest in our souls. They get their nutrients from our soul power. If needed, though, we can take them out and feed them regular food, too. Sarah adds, What familiars do you two have? Lorik asks. I have a giant white hawk as my familiar, Sarah replies. Mine is a greater salamander, Rowan adds, causing Lorik to smile. I take it that you can gain powers from your familiar, too? Lorik asks. Yes, you can. What made you ask? Cyrilda asks back. The giant white hawk uses the law of bright winds. Greater salamanders use fire laws of the first or second echelon. I figured both would be helpful for them and make up for some of their shortcomings. Lorik says, causing Cyrilda to chuckle. You know your laws pretty well? Once you become a mage, you'll be able to use a small part of your familiar's laws. Once you become a 5th-tier mage, though, you can fuse with your familiar. The 2 of you will become one in body and soul. This will increase your power and give you certain abilities depending on the familiar. As you said, the salamander's fire laws will mix well with Rowan's magma law. Hopefully, he'll evolve it by then. Sarah's Whitehawk's wind law will help Cyrilda with wide-range attacks. The best part, too, is that they won't have to comprehend these laws. Familiars will comprehend their own laws much quicker than we comprehend ours. Cyrilda explains before her nightmare Pegasus disappears. It turns back into black mist and enters her body. With that little lesson out of the way, let's move on to our review. Can any of you, aside from Lorik, tell me what the point of the past few days was? Cyrilda asks, causing Lorik to sigh. It was to learn, right? Vera asks after a moment of silence. In a way, yes. The point was to show you that there's lots you don't yet know. I figured showing you firsthand would make it more impactful. Of course, I didn't think you'd have someone who'd know everything out there. Cyrilda says with a smile while motioning toward Lorik. I don't know everything. I've just spent a lot of time out there, is all. Lorik replies, causing her to nod. So I want you all to start studying up on monsters going forward, but make sure not to fall behind on your studies. Speaking of, off you go. Study lots tonight before your tests tomorrow. And make sure to come here after your tests. Cyrilda says, before snapping her fingers. The four of them are teleported out of the castle and back to their dorm. They fall into their living room and crash into the floor. A little warning would have been nice. Lorik says, causing Rowan to laugh. They get up and sit down on the couches. Books appear from their storage rings as they start studying. The day quickly passes by as the four spend it with their noses buried in books. They ask each other questions and help each other when they can. It's not until after they eat dinner that they finally put their books away. Vera takes a shower as the others all go to bed. The next morning, they ask each other quick review questions over breakfast. After eating, they walk to the academy's main building and enter their classroom. Since it's testing day, the halls are full of students going to and fro. The four enter their class and sit down. Once everyone's seated and the bell rings, the professor starts passing around papers. The only sound in the room for the next few hours is pencils writing on paper. Even when the students finish, they set their pencils down and turn their papers over. After that, they silently wait for the time to end. Once the time is up, the professor calls them by team number, starting with 1. The four of Team 1 walk down and hand the professor their papers. After that, they get to leave first. I think I bombed my history test, Vera says as they leave the class. I'm sure I did badly on our math test, Sarah adds. I think I did good, Rowan says before looking at Lorik. I had to guess a lot of my answers, so don't look at me. He replies, causing the others to laugh. Really? I thought you'd be acing the tests. Vera asks. No, unless it's about laws, monsters, the evergreen woods, or alchemy, I'm pretty clueless. Lorik replies. Wait, I thought you aced the entrance exams? Rowan asks. I did, but that was down to luck. Plus, most of it was about laws and magic, not math and science. I still don't see why mages need to know this. Lorik replies, causing Sarah to laugh. Now we need to go back to Master. Hopefully, she won't have any grueling task for us. Sarah says. Way to jinx it, Vera replies as they walk out of the main building. There are a few other teams outside already, discussing what to do now. I wouldn't mind doing some more academy tasks. We don't have a whole lot of points now. Well, except for you, Lorik. You even got an award for being the richest freshman. Rowan says teasingly. That was a few days ago. I'm sure someone has gotten more points than me by now. Lorik replies before stopping. A vine grows out of the ground in front of him, blocking him from moving forward. Sorry about that, Lorik. I just wanted to get your attention. A man says from their side. They turn and see Headmaster Arlen Draven next to them. What did you need, Headmaster? Lorik asks, causing the man to smile. After witnessing your law for the first time, I haven't been able to get it out of my mind. If you have the time, I'd love to study it further, only if you're fine with that, of course. Arlen says. That'd be fine with me. But I'm afraid I'm busy now. That's fine. I'll send you a special task on your bracelet. Just notify me when you have time, and I'll arrange for a place where you can release your magic. Oh, and don't worry about the one task a time rule. This special task won't prevent you from accepting other tasks. Arlen says before turning around and leaving. A moment later, Lorik's bracelet vibrates. What's the details of the task? Sarah asks as they continue walking to the castle. Why are you curious? Lorik asks while checking the task. I've heard from my brother that special tasks are the most rewarding, but they're incredibly rare and hard to get. Sarah replies. I didn't know you had a brother, Vera says, surprised. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention him. He's the crown prince and our father's successor to the throne. I also have a little sister while we're on the subject. Sarah says before turning back to Lorik. He's put his arm back down, so she looks at him expectantly. The rewards will vary, but it's guaranteed to be at least 5,000 points and 1 academy ticket. Lorik replies, causing her to sigh. Make sure you tell Master about this. She's already mad you didn't tell her about your alchemy and seeing aura. Rowan says, causing Lorik to stop. Wait, she's actually mad about that? I thought she was joking. Lorik says, causing Sarah to laugh.